Don't press, impress. Welcome to another episode of Self-Employed Success Secrets Weekend Edition. On today's episode, we're going to talk about why you should not put pressure on others or for things to happen, but instead you should impress people to get what you want. But first, let's talk about this channel. This channel is dedicated to helping you become sustainably, successfully self-employed, to help you bridge the gap between quitting your job to going on the quest of a lifetime being self-employed. Okay, and one of those ways, this is a tips episode. Every Saturday is a tip episode. Every Monday is a technique episode. Every Wednesday is a trick episode. Okay, with this tip, don't press, impress. It will help you to bridge that gap. Okay, so what do we mean by don't press, impress? Okay, don't put pressure. Okay, if you're similar to most people, you don't enjoy pressure. Think to yourself, when was the last time you felt pressure? Pressure to submit something. Pressure to act a certain way. Pressure to get back to someone. It's not fun. It's a burden. It's an obligation. It's a hardship you have to bear. Okay. One day I was driving in Georgia, and it was like an antique furniture company, and they had a billboard on the side of the road that said no sales pressure. And it was like, wow, that's intelligent. It's a good way to sell stuff, is to not put pressure on people. If you ever notice, the more pressure you put on people, the more they pull away. Okay, don't press, impress. Don't press for clients. Don't press for payments. Don't press for recognition. Okay, instead of pressing and putting pressure on others, imposing your will to get noticed, impress. Make them want to willingly give, okay? People don't want to be sold. They want to buy things, okay? They don't want to be sold, they want to buy, which means they want the choice to freely give, to freely disperse. It's human nature to want to press. Like, let's say you're like, okay, I want to go on a trip, or I need money to go to the grocery store or anything like this. First of all, you should never find yourself in a state of desperation in that way. But, things happen, okay? Is that never press for payments. We talked about on Wednesday how if you want to get paid, pay them, okay? If you want to get paid, pay them. If you haven't checked out that episode, go and check it out. I'm not going to talk about that on this episode, but don't ever press, impress. If you impress, you will get everything you want in life. You impress other people in a correct way. Okay. I'm not talking about showboating. I'm not talking about lying. I'm talking about impressing based on the things that you've learned to help other people. And that goes to our next point. How do you impress? You impress by what you've done in the darkness, by the preparation in the darkness that will impress other people. If you are a lawyer, the extensive knowledge of the law will impress people. It will suffuse through you to make them want to buy from you. That is how you impress people to get paid. Do you want recognition? Study. This all comes back to studying and being and drawing upon the substance upon which the industry in which you decided to join into. Every industry is like an iceberg. There's a large amount of it below the surface of what you know about it, that if you gain that information, you'll become formidable. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, but it will distinguish you. Information collection will distinguish you from other people, and will get you the clients you want, and will make you everything you want. The things you digest, the things you read, the things that you ruminate and are pensive about will come to light. Okay? As the saying goes, if you want to change the fruits, you got to change the roots. What you put into you, as the saying goes, what comes into your heart, what comes into your ears, comes out of your heart. Okay? It's kind of the same thing as like what comes to your eyes, comes out of your heart, will show up in your life. What you store up here will come out here. As above, so below. So if you really want to become distinguished, if you want to impress, learn as much about your field as possible. Okay, so don't press, impress. Okay? Think about this: the next time you want something and you feel I have to press to get what I want, no, how about you impress? What are some ways you can impress people? You can impress people with your reliability. You'd be amazed at how many people are not reliable. You can't count on them to be at the job next week. Impress with your information, impress with your connections, impress with your selflessness. That's another great way to stand out, is be selfless. Don't ever think about yourself. Impress with your performance. Impress with your kindness, with your attitude. Impress with your vocabulary. I mean, you can impress in so many ways. Impress with your patience. Impress with your intelligence. Impress with your sense of equanimity. A lot of ways you can impress people. Remember, it's all about how you act. So next time you want a new client, don't worry about it. Just impress them. Impress them by not pressing. When you don't press, it shows you're in a state of abundance, and everything in life will come to you when you don't need it. Gonna say that again. Everything you want in your life will come to you when you don't need it. It's a very strange and honestly brutal law of this world. When you don't need something, it comes to you. As there's a famous saying that the man with no teeth gets steak. He can't eat the steak. He doesn't need it, and it came to him. Why do people get money when they're 80 years old? They don't fucking need it. Okay? Get to this point where you're just happy with what you have. This state of where there's no pressure. You're just like, whatever, I don't really care about you becoming a client because I'm in this perpetual state of abundance. Okay, as the Bible says, he who has will have more. And he who has nothing will have that taken away from him. Okay. Jesus said that. Keep that in mind as you live your life. Get to a state of abundance by impressing and not pressing. Okay, bye.